Well, it's good evening from me, and I'm not in Phuket. I've gathered. It's Sunday the 26th of September, and I'm in the eastern Yorkshire Dales, village of Aysgarth. It's 4:15 in the evening. I've just driven up here from Leeds because I'm staying here tonight, or in a little village nearby called Carperby, prior to starting a 4-day walk called the James Herriot Trail. Named after a trail that the author James Herriot, real name Alf White, did with his son many years ago throughout his beloved Wensleydale and Swaledale. And start that tomorrow, take 4 days. It does end here actually at Aysgarth. I thought, well, it's a nice evening, I'll just have a wander down. It's about a mile from where I'm staying, down to the river, and have a look at the falls, which are quite renowned. I'm actually staying, I'm mixing fact with fiction. The inn I'm staying in is called the Wheatsheaf Inn, and it's where James Herriot, the real James Herriot, Alf White that is, and his wife spent the honeymoon, or the first 2 nights of it, tuberculosis testing cattle, which seems a rather strange thing to do on your honeymoon. I'll show you a short picture of the inn when we get back. Okay, Aysgarth Falls consists of 3 levels, the lower, middle and upper falls. These are the lower falls. If they look familiar, or vaguely familiar, if you watch the film Robin Hood Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner, this is where he had his fight with Little John or Friar Tuck, I forget which one it was now. But in the film, a lot of the film was shot in this area. So these are the lower falls, not masses of water coming down, but they're not steep particularly, but they do go on a long way. Okay, so now we're looking at what are the middle falls. We have a small viewing platform here. The bit of coming at this time of the evening is you have it more or less to yourself. And the problem is the inn I'm staying at is up at the top of the hill, 114 hill, and I've just come down it, so now I've got to go back up it again. So I need a bit of exercise today. Well, I was wrong. When you come out on the road, you cross the road, there's a path coming by the National Park Centre. It's here in the car park. You walk through there and you can come up to one of the upper falls. As I say, there's not been much rain of late, so it's actually quite not a lot of water. This is the Wheatsheaf Inn where I'm staying, and the window in the middle is where the real James Herriot, Alf White spent his honeymoon. Okay then, so to recap, I'm now in my quite small single room in the Wheatsheaf Hotel, or Wheatsheaf Inn is it, in Carperby. And the reason I'm here is because tomorrow morning I'm setting off on what will be a 4-day walk. It's approximately 80 kilometres, and it's split into 4 even days walks, about 20 kilometres a day, with about, again on average, about 2,000 feet ascent each day. So nothing over strenuous, but of course this is England and we've no idea really what the weather's going to be like. Could have driving rain. There's one peak to climb, which is Yorkshire's 3rd highest, called Great Shunner Fell. It's one I've never done before. In fact, this is not an area Gill and I walked. This is Wensleydale we're in now. It's the only dale that's not named really after a river. It's named after a village of Wensley, which used to be the most important town in the Dale, but no longer. We spent the first night at a town called Hawes. Then we head up through over Great Shunner Fell up to Dent. Then we hit Swaledale, which Gill and I were very familiar with. We used to love going up to Swaledale, our dog's favourite walk, thousands of rabbits to chase. They never caught any, and if they had, they would have licked them to death probably. And then we come over to Reef, capital of Swaledale before dropping back down past Castle Bolton and back to Aysgarth. So looking forward to it. Be a bit of a challenge. I'm not having my bags picked up at all, taken to the next stop on this walk. I'm carrying everything in my backpack, so a bit more weight to carry, but not too bad. So that's about it. I'm going to have an evening meal shortly here and then an early night. So I'll see you all in the morning. Well, welcome to England, late September. Day one, we just set off, still in the Carperby village. We're heading down now towards the river. Right, well, none of this walk is waymarked. We've just come down the small road from Carperby rather than retracing my steps back to Askrigg and then along the road from there, which then joins this path, which I've come that side, and now we're on the main path. You see a sign here saying public footpath, Askrigg 3 3/4 miles. Apologise about the rain, it's screwing up the pictures, can't be helped. So 3 3/4 miles of public footpath along the side of the river here, which is down there. This is the River Yore. As I said, Wensleydale does not get its name from the river, and this is the River Yore that goes through Wensleydale. So we're continuing now for 3 3/4 miles to Askrigg, which coincidentally is actually the fictional Darrowby in the TV series All Creatures Great and Small. The real Darrowby is actually Thirsk, which is many miles to the east, not even in the Dales, but when they filmed the TV series, they filmed it at Askrigg. Typical Dales landscape. The river there just to my left, hill in the distance, a lot of sheep around, stone barns. This path is just literally slightly lighter green on a darker green. Still raining heavy. Be a good test for my waterproofs, which I bought a couple of years ago now and had delivered in the UK. Finally get to wear them. First field of cows. We're about 4.5 kilometres in now. Seen a lot of rabbits, some sheep. And the recent spate of cowpats indicated we were heading for cows, and we have to. Hopefully friendly. Well, the rain's eased up a little bit. There's actually even a little bit of blue sky up there amongst the grey. It's pretty cold though, as obviously the weather's coming from the west and we're walking into it, so it's quite a chill wind. Whether I'll take off these waterproofs, I doubt, because it's forecast for a while as this rain. So we're now actually on the bed of an old disused railway, which is where the path now goes. I imagine the old railway would have gone from Aysgarth into Askrigg village, which is the first sort of settlement we reach. I've not seen a soul walking. I just saw at a distance a lady walking a dog in the last field, but other than that, Monday morning on a filthy day. Not surprisingly, I'm not seeing anybody else, but we have a walk to do. Road in the distance. Plenty of sheep around here. Don't seem too bothered about me. Normally they're pretty frightened, but raindrops still coming down. I'm not going to be stripping off layers anytime soon. As you can see, these sheep are much more friendly. Whether they think I'm bringing them food or not, I don't know. But they're following me to the gate here. They actually came running to me at one point. I thought, they're trying to charge me, but... Hello! Hi, sheepy! You look very friendly. I'm sorry, I have no more food for you. There's plenty of grass on this field though, so you shouldn't need it. Well, we'll take advantage of a little bit of sun. views over the hills. Typical Dales landscape. The river's down there. Can't see it, but it is in the bottom, and then hills going up either side. See pretty dark clouds ahead though. The sheep again, over the barn. This path heads up. We're getting very close to the village of Askrigg now. Here we are now approaching Askrigg, which in the TV series All Creatures Great and Small was the fictional Darrowby. Some used to see a lot of in the Dales villages. Old Temperance Hall, not used now of course, dated 1906, is at the... There's actually a public convenience there as well. We'll see if we can spot Skeldale House. There's the King's Arms. Shows you an open it might be. Entrance to historic pub and restaurant. So that was the Drover's Arms, I believe. Well, a long time since I've been here, but I'm feeling that was Skeldale House in the TV series. Well, if not very similar. I thought it was marked actually, but maybe it isn't anymore. There's the church. So I've had a walk up in the village, so had a look round. The pub doesn't open till 12, so it's an hour away, so we'll forget a beer. And just as I entered Askrigg, completed 10,000 steps for the day. I think I just looked at the All Trails app, done about just over 8 kilometres. And I think we're going to take a detour shortly to see a waterfall that they say is worth seeing. I believe we're now on the right way. Now my guidebook says, probably quite rightly, this is probably the smallest gate in Yorkshire, and indeed I see no reason to doubt it. So this is a detour I'm going to take to go down and back again. It says it's worth taking. It's called Gill Force or Gill Fall. I don't know if there'll be much water, but we'll do as the guidebook suggests and go down and have a look at it. Pleasant enough path through the woods. Yeah, I think it's worth the detour. Just down here, pretty waterfall dropping down. To this stream. Lovely woody glade either side. Yeah. My GPS is beeping away at me, telling I'm off track, but I'll be back on it soon. It does feel good to be back in Yorkshire, no matter the conditions. We're looking over the other side of the dale. We're heading this way, across the fields, following this wall for a while, and sun over there. I tell you, the wind is quite cold there. And again we have a flock of sheep. Follow me. I was able to give the black one a stroke. Hello, you come and say hello again. You're very friendly, aren't you, hey? Funny how some places the sheep run a mile as soon as they see you, and other places they come running up. Well, we're now 15.5 kilometres in, and we're actually heading for, we can see it now, village of the town of Hawes. It's actually the largest settlement we touch on this walk. So, getting there. So we come to a village now called Simon Stone. And this is Simon Stone Hall, obviously a former manor house, now a hotel. We turn off across these fields. I say, Hawes is down there. Was coming around. Just going to visit somewhere else first. Making good progress. Very squally. You can probably hear with the wind. 1 minute the sun's out, next minute visibility just disappears and you get wet. And same with the wind. Some minute times it's quite calm, and the next minute it's blowing a gale. This is looking down the hill into the village of Hardraw, where we'll be stopping briefly, and we'll be going through a pub and paying for the privilege. Explain why later. Beautiful memorial seat here. Somebody's a young man, obviously very young. Died when he was only 25, but what a beautiful piece of carving. The Green Dragon pub, and we'll actually pay to go through it. Find out why. Stick with me. Well, okay, we didn't have to pay to go through the pub, but we did have to pay £4 to go through the tea room. So this is what we've paid to see. This is it's the UK, it's not just England, but certainly England's biggest single drop waterfall above ground. I have to qualify that because I'm familiar with Gaping Gill on the side of Ingleborough, not too far from here. It is a pothole, and that's about 200 foot straight down, but underground. And you can actually go down there on bank holidays. The local caving club will have a hoist to take people down. But this is the highest single drop waterfall with a sort of natural amphitheatre. Is it worth paying £4 to see? Debatable, I think. But there you go. We've now seen it. Okay, just started on the Pennine Way, and we have a horse here being reshoed by the local blacksmith, I assume.
That's right.
Is he a good...
He is. He's a good lad. His heckle has just fallen off, that's all.
Oh dear.
Some technical difficulties.
Have you measured it already? You already know what size you need?
Yeah, so we have stock. So all our shoes are kind of pre-made into stock. And we measure what size we want then against the foot, and then that will go in the forge to be heated up to be altered to fit his shape.
Right. Having a manicure.
Basically.
Okay, so we're now on the Pennine Way, which is a 200 odd mile long distance walk. Goes up the length of the Pennines. It starts in Derbyshire and goes all the way up to the Scottish borders. And one thing about the national routes is that, which the Pennine Way is, I think it's the first in fact, the oldest, is that they are very well marked and waymarked, and we'll be following it quite a bit tomorrow as well. Well, we're now coming into coming into Hawes, looking back there over the field, just come over Hardraw. This is just a little bridge. You come in actually, this is the Pennine Way, and you come in on what is quite a main road, so you've got to be careful on here. And this is of course the River Yore again. I'm happy to say the last quarter of a mile takes us off the main road and onto a footpath. And some sheep. So we're now in the centre of Hawes. Well, not quite the centre, but we're walking up that way, I believe. Well, you can't get away from the great man. Herriot's Cafe there. So I'm in my room. This is the outlook onto the main street of Hawes. Now what's it called? The Fountain, I believe I'm staying in. Nice room. I've cluttered it up a bit already, but yeah. So I've had a shower and I'm ready now to go have a drink. Not here though. The pub just up the road, which unfortunately was full, does sell Timothy Taylor's, and I've yet to have a drink of that on this trip. It's my favourite beer, and so I'm going to go and see, and hopefully it's selling it. I can go get a drink there. What I'm going to eat, I don't know. Been a long day, 21.5 kilometres, depending which, both the same programme, but depending which phone I look at, it's either 400 and some metres ascent or 600 and some, who knows. 27,000 plus steps so far today. Back's a bit stiff. The gear I bought, which I've used for the first time in the UK, the waterproof gear and everything else, perfectly good. Unfortunately, the my water bladder, which I use for drinking water from, the bite valve at the end is dripping, leaking, which is dripping onto coat and everything all the time. Need to get a new one of those when I can. Back's a bit stiff. I am carrying everything on this trip. I'm not using the services of one of these back horse companies, they call them, that carry bags from one stop to the other. I'm actually carrying this one because it's only 4 days, and I thought it'd be a good test for the coast to coast next year, hopefully. I can manage this easily enough. So there we go. So I'm going to go out now and say goodnight to you, and I'll see you in the morning when we set off on day 2, which will be quite a bit tougher, a big climb tomorrow. Good night.